So Mormons, they are supreme at taking quotes from their old prophets and leaders, Brigham Young, Joseph Smith, Orson Pratt, things like that. They are supreme at taking those statements that were and are heretical and ungodly and unscriptural and nonsense, wickedness. They are supreme at taking those statements and saying, "Oh well, we don't count those. Those don't. So we don't heed any of those things," and they make excuses. Now, people might say, "Well, in the Bible, you do that at times." Yes, we do. It's called, now this is a new term that's in the Bible, and I've had Mormons tell me it's not there, but here's the difference between what Mormonism does and what biblical Christianity does. The Bible tells us to rightly divide the word of truth. So you take the Bible and you are to rightly divide it. So you are to, what does that mean? You are to look at what is written to Israel compared to what's written to us today. And when I say us today, I don't mean Matthew, Mark, Luke. I'm talking about what is written for us today. Specifically would be Paul's epistles. But you rightly divide. So you don't, so tithing is not for today because that was to the Jews. Circumcision for religious reasons. So people want to push tithing and all this stuff was to the Jews for religious purposes. You look at the Sabbath, same thing, no application to us today. So the problem is there's a valid reason to look at us to look at the Bible as a Bible-believing Christian and say, "Oh, that's true. It's God's word. It's inspired. It's just not something written directly to me." The problem is Mormons don't grasp that because they don't understand rightly dividing, and they don't understand their Bible anyways. That's why it says, "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needs not to be ashamed." And so that whole concept of what that prophet said or that leader or that teacher, there is no rightly dividing that. They made these heretical statements, and the Mormon church is ashamed to proclaim that they once believed those things, and they want to disavow them at this point, because other than that, the world will think they're nuts. And they are. I'm sorry, if you believe that men lived on the moon dressed like Quakers and lived to be 1,000 years old, if you believe that you're going to rule over some planet like Battlestar Galactica, then you're nuts. So rightly divide the word of truth and have some reasoning about you. Have a blessed day.